Hello, my name is Retro, and today I cut my hair. Whoa! I'm smooth, baby, smooth. Today's movie review will probably be Exterminating Tales. Sorry I butchered that word. This movie was honestly like a passion project because really it just dived into all one of the most famous written horror people in the world who started the horror genre. Arthur Edgar Poe. You know that guy all weird with black hair with a mustache? Yeah, dedicated a lot of stuff to this guy because he's the one who created kind of the horror genre. He's the one who decided to write spooky stuff but not really scary. It's more like the feeling of fear. This kind of unsettling feeling something bad will happen. And basically that's all the stories he made on his books is based on this movie. Yes, this is an anthology. Now, this anthology movie is basically just best stories he made in this movie, but because it's based on his book, I'm 100% sure only 30% is accurate because over the years, movies based on books are usually not really exact detail of information. Usually they drop a lot of things and change a lot of things, so it's almost semi-accurate. Anyway, this movie does grab your attention. I mean, honestly, especially with the art style. When you start a movie, you have to get your attention. In the few seconds you see the art, it grabs you because the CGI is more like a paper mache. You have this paper mache crow talking to the statue. Yes, that's how you start the movie. The crow talking about the statue. But the crow thinks he's crazy and maybe he got some eat or something messed up. I mean, he doesn't believe he's talking to the statue. But this statue and the crow talking about where life is worth living or worth dying because there is no purpose. And basically all 5 stories are based on that idea. Feel of the extraordinary moments of these people of stories, you understand. Like the first one is basically 2 best friends who are kind of separated in the full adults and the other one needs him. He come back realizing darkest moments that his sister about to die. He'd be left alone. He feel terrified, creeped out. He didn't know what to do. He's so freaking out, like basically alone. But how that first episode dictates the whole feeling of it, it told the perspective of his best friend, how he going mad. But because it's old English, 1970s English, not 1970s, 1700s, there we go. Old English, not UK English, I mean old ghetto English. The way they talk to you is more like you see someone saying, come near me, child, my child, this and this. I'm very bad at this, but you get the idea. It's more like you have to really think about what the words they're saying. It's one of those dialogue things that you sit down and say, what the hell he's talking about? Yeah, it's one of those moments like, yeah, you feel moments like that, but it's kind of force you to think a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I like that the whole movie force feeds you anything. You have to kind of understand the context, what they say on top. Especially the first episode that best friends his opinion was going to his friend until breakdown. And I love about it. You just feel interesting about how he speaks in this situation, especially the situation in all 5 stories. Some of them they really don't explain what actually is going on. It's just through the moment of narration of the person, and that's so interesting. It does grab your brain. Especially each story has its own art style. The first one is more blocky, but more like a wooden kind of feel. Yeah, you have that kind of like weird art style that just grab you. Now the second story is the guy who take care of this old man. Second story, more like black and white feeling, but like an old record talking. I mean, kind of like 1950s radio style that you kind of grit noises and it feels out of place, but it works. Now the third story is more comic book CGI feel. You feel like how they move everything around them, but a comic book panel way that you know where to go. Usually that's done very badly, but this movie, Exterminating Tales, pulls it off. I mean, every single short story they give you does try to be a comic book feel. The panels, it does very properly. Usually you've seen this done badly and they kind of piss you off. This one, no. This one doesn't give you a headache or anger or anything. You just go with it. Now the third story would be the doctor story. A doctor trying to figure out, can you hypnotize this person and tell them if they're dead, or bring whole death without hypnotizing, convincing the brain not dying. And that itself is a really good episode. That story is just so interesting how they try to understand he's dead or not. He doesn't have a pulse, but he's still alive. He's still speaking to us. And this is how the episode goes to the very twist. I will go into it. Now, the fourth one is, in my opinion, the weakest story of the 5. It's about the death sentence of prison by this Spanish guy who this kind of psychotic mode that he really doesn't know what to do. It's still so interesting. The art is more realistic in this version. It really does feel like, but the only problem is it doesn't grab my attention that much. I feel this is the weakest one. I mean, it wasn't bad. No. The very end does grab your attention in the story, but it just needed to work on a little bit more of that one. I mean, it's 5 stories. Some of you probably disagreeing with me. You say, no, I feel the first one was the weak one, or something like that. Everybody has their own taste of each story. My distaste is this one. The 4th one wasn't the strongest one, but this story is connected to the Crow somehow. Now, you also have the final story, the Red Plague, and this one has no dialogue at all. The only dialogue they have in me 5 sentences. Who are you who assault me? And that's it. Not really much to talk about. Last one. More focused on artistic point of view. Instead of a narration, nothing. You just see all these people doing this kind of horrible things, especially in the kind of like the Black Plague era. You see how the rich people are just pretty well and the poor people dying left and right. It's more like give you your own opinion what's going on. It's trying to understand or give you a certain direction what's going on, but you kind of have to figure out what's going on. But you know what? It works pretty well. I mean, it didn't bore me. It was amazing, and the art was impressive also. Now, the whole final story, or semi-final story, is about the Crow in the statue. You figure out who is who and what's going on, especially when they do the conversations that you're trying to catch up what's going on, what they're talking about. And that is so interesting. They talk about the good and the bad. Bad of all this movie is they really don't have a main character. They have different stories of characters. That usually a kind of difficult thing to pull off because it's one of the things they have to convince the viewer to sit down and watch all of it. Does it do that to you? Yes, 90%. Especially if different 5 stories. Somehow you will hate one story, or at least there wasn't that ooh about it. And that's the only problem with this type of stories, that you have to get each story right. This one does accomplish what it needs to do, so give it a pass. Anything else? Well, if you like animation, it's when you just are passionate about animation, this is for you. Because honestly, all the art direction they pick of each story has its own thing, and it works at its own advantage because how they tell the story is selected of the art style trying to complement through the story, and it does this pretty well. I mean, it does impress you each episode. You like animation, and that's the only problem because it doesn't give you a straight story what's going on. It's just the things happening, trying to the Crow and the statue convince themselves still should be living or should be died, because honestly there is no reason to live it, so it should be dead. Go ahead and die. And that's the whole summing up the whole stories of all 5, and that's it. Really not much to give you. But it's one of those that is Edgar Allan Poe. I said the name wrong. I mean, I know I said it wrong. Forgive me. If you want to correct me below in the comments. One of those movies that you really can't say much about it because it's entertaining. Yes, it's worth watching. Definitely. Only if you not figure out a little bit more effort to understand what's going on. Especially how they speak the dialogue for being spoon-fed information. Is not for you. It's one of those that is only people who like art styles and people who like to be a little bit more challenged to understand what's going on. You have to add up things together. That's the only good and bad thing about it. This is more up to you kind of thing. So I have to rate it honest a 7 out of 10. One of those 7s that I recommend to watch if you want to try something different. It's on Netflix. I mean, be disappointed or at least bored. At least 90% will be. I don't know that. Just watch it. You enjoy it. If you like this video and want to see more, you can watch here. To say thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.